Hi, Lee Brower here, and welcome to this week's edition of Meaningful Monday. I am grateful to be here, and I am glad to be here. What are you committed to in 2015? Are you willing to write it down? Are you willing to proclaim it? What are you committed to? You know, when you commit to something, you make a decision. When you decide, you eliminate when you decide, you kill off the alternatives. Decide comes from homicide, to kill. You kill off the alternatives. And when you make a commitment, I like the definition of commitment that says a commitment is the ability to carry out a worthwhile decision once the emotion of making that decision has passed. Let me share with you a commitment that I'm making in 2015, and I'm going to ask you to consider how it might relate to the commitments that you're making. And so the commitment that I'm making in 2015 goes back to a question that we asked years and years and years ago, and that is, how do you strengthen the family? When I look at the world today, the family is one of the stabilizing factors. In fact, the world is changing at such a fast pace. Let's break it down into two categories. Let's break it down into accelerators at the top, and down this side, let's talk about what are the stabilizers. You know, let's talk about the accelerators. First of all, you have the global economy. And the global economy, or the economics, if you will, is things are happening at such a very rapid pace. You've got technology and artificial intelligence, robotics, 3D printing, and then so on and so on and so on. Changing so fast. And then you've got medicine and science and all of the biotech things and things that are happening so fast. You know, when I talk about acceleration, where are we in that acceleration process? You know, you've seen the illustration where you take a piece of paper and you fold the paper in half, and then you say how thick. You know, if you fold the paper in half 3 times, it's about the size of a thumbnail, depending on the size of the paper you start with. It's not much thicker than that. But then you take it and you do it 10 times, and it's the width of your hand from here to here. If you take it 14 times, it's taller than a man. If you take it up 20 times, it's like taking 41 football fields and putting them down length to length in terms of each other, all the way out to there. And if you take it out 25 times, then it's taller than the Matterhorn. And then if you take it out to 30 times, let's see, you're 25 the Matterhorn, no, 42 times. From 42 times, you're all the way out to the moon, and 50 times, you're all the way out to the sun. Now that's amazing, but here's what I want you to think. You've heard it before, but think about how far did it turn when it was 42 times it made it to the moon. On the 41st turn, how far did it go? It went halfway there. On the 40th turn, it was a quarter of the way there. So one turn at 39 is what percentage greater, how many thousands and thousands of percent greater is that than the first turn or the third turn or the fourth turn of the paper to begin with? Well, how many folds are we into in terms of our acceleration and where we're going? We're somewhere in that line. So all of the progress that we've made so far is now accelerated. 15 years ago, look at all the changes that have happened in technology just in the last 15 years. And my prediction is that over the next year or two, that the production will more than double that. We know that from Moore's Law and all of the other things that are there. So we are in a time of rapid growth, accelerated growth. And with that comes turbulence and chaos. The stabilizers then are our political system. And what's our political system like? It's like this. Religion, I don't mean a religion, specific religion, but religion in of itself. And what's it like? Call this perturbation. In families, you know, unfortunately, yeah, families are like this. And they're being impacted by the accelerators. So my question is, and my vision for 2015 is, how can we stabilize families? And you look at the different areas and you say, well, we've got very powerful families. I have the opportunity to work with some of the most powerful, generous families on the planet. Absolutely. But one of the reasons that they're attracted into working together, like-minded minds come together and work, is because they want to focus in on those areas they feel powerlessness from. Part of those areas, when you really look at it, there's a number of them. A simple illustration is look at our healthcare system. If you put who's in control at the very center, you're going to find the family way on the outside edge. And you've got various entities, including insurance companies, pharmaceutical companies, government regulators, and so on, in between the family and the centric part of it. How do we bring that in and make it family centric? The same thing is true in the financial world, in the estate planning world, and in the political voting world, where the family has been pushed out by outside interests and lobbyists to where they no longer know how to make political decisions. They don't know how to vote for a candidate. We're going to address all of these issues. I want to thank everybody I met with last week. Last week was a breakthrough week for me. We're finding more and more like-minded thinkers, and as we come together, amazing ideas are being germinated. And I'm confident that in 2015, I'm committed to making a difference in that area, to bring the family back to the center. You know, what's her name? Margaret Mead. Margaret Mead said, never doubt a thoughtful, committed group of citizens. Never doubt that, here we go. Never doubt that a thoughtful, committed group of citizens can change the world. Indeed, that's the only thing that has. What a great quote. You are a thoughtful individual. You are committed and you care. What are you committed to this year that's going to make a difference on the planet? How are you anticipating the changes from the acceleration? And what are you doing to stabilize all of this growth that's up there? These are great questions that we all need to answer. Let's stay focused on them. Let's make this the meaningful year of the future. I'll talk to you next Monday. I look forward to it. Thank you. Bye-bye.